Hi, how you doing? It's Jim. It's Tuesday afternoon, and I'm making a slightly different video. I thought it might be interesting to go through some of this. This may take more than one video. In fact, I'm fairly certain it will. It'll probably take. If I just did one block at a time, it'd be 12 videos because I've got 12 sections to this. But I might try and sort of whiz through it a bit quicker than that. But this will be sort of an occasional series that happens over the next few months, just as something slightly different, rather than just listening to music all the time. I thought it might be quite interesting just to sort of have a look at the record collection as it is now, and if there's anything that jumps out at you particularly that you want to listen to or think's worthy to share on the channel, then sort of obviously leave a comment in the section below and let us know. So we're going to start. My collection of records is all alphabetical. The very beginning is numerical, so we've got anything with a number in the title of the band is at the front. And then we go through A through to Z. And rather controversially, I list artists by their first name. So you've got Bob Dylan in the B, so you have Devin Townsend in D or Frank Zappa in F rather than Z or T or D. So just so you know that's how it's going to come, that's just to let you know. Right, so initially we've got some ones here. There's 4 of these. These are all 12-inch singles from a UK electronic band from the end of the 80s, early 90s called 808 State. This was very much part of the dance and club scene at the time. It hasn't aged well. It's quite dated, but absolutely of the time. And I loved this music at the time. I was a very different person. I was much younger, and my priorities in life were quite different, as you can probably tell. But so I love those records. I still love them, even though they have dated somewhat. So we have, what do we have? Quadrastate, Cubic Olympic, which was awesome. The extended, that's the EP called The Extended Pleasure of Dance. We've got Cobra Bora, Ancodia, and Cubic on there as well. In Your Face, Leo. That's another 808 State 12-inch there. So that's what we got for there, first of all. Next up, this is a whole load of stuff I've never listened to. So I'm going to grab these all in one go. This is all Tencc, which was bequeathed to me by my dear uncle, and I think I've also inherited 1 or 2 from elsewhere as well. So I've got, I don't actually know what the albums are called. So I've got this one, which is just called Tencc by the looks of things. The original soundtrack. We have How Dare You, which actually looks, all these covers look awesome. Then I've got 2 copies of the same one here, which is Deceptive Bends. And we also have 2 copies of Bloody Tourists, which is this one. So I have all of these, but I've never listened to them. I've just kind of not entirely, I don't know, I just sort of kind of think, I know some Tencc, obviously I do, but I don't know the albums, and I suspect I probably should get around to listening to them. Whether it's channel worthy or not, I don't know, but they're there. They are there. Right, so we've moved through the numbers. We're now on to A, and of course, I don't have a lot of it, but this is my small ACDC collection. You Shook Me All Night Long, 12-inch single. We have also what I claim to be one of the greatest live records ever. I absolutely love this record, If You Want Blood. Recorded in, I think it was in Glasgow. What did it say on there? It doesn't say. I have a feeling this is recorded in Glasgow, and it's 1978. and it's just properly good. ACDC absolutely at the peak of their powers. Bon Scott snarling and jumping around on the stage. Angus doing his thing. So we also have, of course, the obligatory Black in Black, one of the greatest records ever for rock and roll. It's just, it cannot be beaten. And I suppose the sales testify to that. And so that single slips in there. You Shook Me All Night Long. And then we have also another seminal record for those about to rock, which again is of the same sort of thing, the early Bon Scott era. I have got more AC/DC, but not on vinyl. I got it on CD over there. So they are a band I enjoy, and it's easy, fun, just easy, fun music, really, isn't it? So AC/DC. Now, what do we have next? Adam and the Ants. Kings of the Wild Frontier. This takes me back. This is probably one of the very, very first records I ever bought when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I don't even know if this plays well. It's probably scratched to hell because this is literally, I've had this since I was a kid, and I didn't treat things very, very well when I was that age. But yeah, Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. Fun. Okay, so this is another one from the electronic dance era, end of the 80s, early 90s. Adamski. It's a 12-inch single of Killer. So this was, this is, I think, the world's first introduction to Seal as a singer. He sang this song for Adamski, and I loved it. Still like it. It's still a good song, but it's yeah. So that's the next one. Next up, we have Toys in the Attic, Aerosmith. This is a properly good rock and roll record. It's so good. Sweet Emotions, the Sweet Emotion, when that starts, the rumbling of the bass and stuff. Oh, it's just awesome. Play this on a loud stereo. And you sit a long way back from the speakers and turn it up as loud as it will go without the room falling apart. That rewards. This is such a good record. Yeah, and I think that's probably the only Aerosmith I have on vinyl. It is, because then we move on to Norwegian prog. So this is Airbag with their record A Day at the Beach. This is superb. Absolutely superb record. I have tried to, when I first had this, I did a video, I recorded this for the channel, but it got completely blocked. I even broke it down into individual songs, and it just, the record label, or the band, I don't know which, doesn't want this shared. So you have to go and listen to it yourselves. Take my word for it. It is superb. Very, very, very Floyd-inspired, but going their own direction. Bjorn Rees, the guitarist for this band, is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love that record. So that is A Day at the Beach by Airbag. Now, this I have played on the channel. This is Alphonso Johnson with his record Spellbound. He's an incredible bass player. I picked this up in a job lot of jazz fusion records off eBay for about 20 quid, and it had 15 or 20 records in it. I can't remember, and this is one of them. And this is superb. It's right up there with some of the best playing bass you'll ever hear. Highly, highly recommended. Go and have a look back on my videos, because I've played this on the channel. It's great. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, this dates from 1977, so it's a good vintage. Right. This has also had some airplay on the channel. Just the one song, though. It was Race with the Devil on Spanish Highway. So this is Al Di Meola, Elegant Gypsy. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Somewhat dodgy photography and cover imaging, but it's the back as well. Look at that. Isn't that of the age? Isn't that so of the 70s? But this is really, really, really good. Beautiful guitar playing, and quite an amazing bunch of musicians he got with him on here. So he's got Jan Hammer, Steve Gadd, Anthony Jackson, Mingo Lewis, Lenny White, Barry Miles, Paco de Lucia. This is the same age as the Alfonso Johnson record, 1977. Excellent, 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 excellent. Now, we have... No, just two. Alan Parsons Project. The Eye in the Sky. I remember this song from... I don't know when. I think I bought this about the same time as I got into Adam and the Ants. And I bought a cassette, Alan Parsons Project. I think maybe in a best of, or it was some sort of compilation of his stuff. And it had Eye in the Sky on there. And I loved that song. Absolutely loved it. And there's another song, Psycho Babble. Is that on here as well? It might be. Yes, it is. So that's that was another song. Those two I absolutely adored from a young age, actually knowing nothing about this band at all, or about Alan Parsons. So when I saw this come up reasonably recently, of course, I got it. And the other one is Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe, again, the Alan Parsons Project. So I've had this a little while, but have yet to listen to it. These are both definitely going to be channel records coming up in the next few months, if not sooner, maybe later. They'll come up at some point. So now, this is something I'd never have known about had it not been for the channel, because this is Alan White. Ramshackled. So this is obviously the solo album, first solo album only, I don't know, from Alan White, the second drummer and current drummer, I believe, with Yes. And so as I've been working through the Yes discography, I've been encouraged and guided by your comments to check out some of the solo stuff. And of course, some of it I already have done. Chris Squire's Fish Out of Water, and John Anderson's Elias's Sun Hillo. Is that? Yeah, I think that's it. Amazing records, and I've got loads more to go. So this is one of them, and looking forward to it. I suspect it's going to be quite different from the other ones, but you know. Life is all about taking chances and differences, isn't it? Now, this is much more modern electronic music. This is a guy called Martin Kennedy, and his stage name, his creative name is All India Radio. And I only know about this because of Devin Townsend. So I'm a big Devin Townsend fan, and I follow a lot of his social media posts and stuff. And about a year, 18 months ago, he posted that he'd worked on a piece of music with this guy. And I heard it, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. So I then discovered this. Now, it's super chilled. It's super chill out music, and it's gorgeous. It's well worth listening to. Calming down on a Friday night. This is probably what you want. It's lush. So next up, we have two records. From Anathema. So we have Untouchable, which is the live recording from Plovdiv that I've listened to a couple of songs on the channel. I think it was Flying and Untouchable Part 1 and Untouchable Part 2. Just heartbreakingly beautiful music. Absolutely gorgeous. If you don't know Anathema, do yourself a favour and listen to them. It's like, trying to think what they might be like. A little bit like Marillion, a little bit like Gazpacho, a little bit like Elbow, possibly. Just glorious, beautiful, beautiful music. So that's Untouchable. And then the other one I have is We're Here Because We're Here. This is quite a heavyweight double album. Again, this is just glorious, glorious, glorious music. More people this band deserved more people to listen to them. Very, 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 very sadly, as a result of the pandemic, they stopped working and have since sort of sold off much of their equipment and the gear. I know that they're looking at doing other things. There's a band called Weather Systems, I think it's called, which is Danny Kavanagh from this one of the brothers who was Anathema has set up to try and sort of carry on the stuff. But whether Anathema will come back or not, I don't know. But no, beautiful, beautiful band, beautiful music. Right, so next one is still on a Yes vibe. This is Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman and Howe. Their record they put out, which is basically a Yes record without Chris Squire. So I haven't heard this either. This is another one that I'm saving for the channel. It's kind of looks very much like a Yes record from the front. I'm guessing it's going to be very much a Yes record when I listen to it. Apart from it's going to be missing that fabulous bass. So that's to come. Right, now, I now have two records that I suspect you'll never have heard of, and they're Stand Empires. This is a small, proggy instrumental band from the US. And I think they come from Tulsa in Oklahoma. And I've come across these through Bandcamp. I was listening to music on Bandcamp and sort of jumping from one artist to another. And I came across this and I was listening to some of the music on there and I absolutely love this. And I went onto their buy merchandise bit and bought a couple of records. It took about 3 months for them to arrive because I think they had to they handmade them and stuck them in the post from America to get here, but they've come. If you're in America, you might be able to get them quicker. They're worth getting. They're seriously, seriously good. Just check it on Spotify first. But the band is called And There Stand Empires. And they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Now then, is it just... Yeah, so one more. This is a... you know when I was saying about I've got that job lot of jazz and fusion records? This is one of them. Now, maybe this is one that I'm not entirely comfortable with. Andre Brasseur plays the fantastic organ. The More I See You, Song Sung Blue, Pursuit, Only You, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, etc. I don't know if you can see that on the typeface there, but it's all slightly making my eyes go funny. Anyway, it's not good. It's not good, but it's still there. I'll probably get rid of it at some point. But it's not my favourite record. Let's put it that way. Well, we then go to what could be considered as some of my favourite records. Now I have three here from Swedish band Anecdotal. We've got Nucleus. This is the first time I ever heard Anecdotal. It was the Book of Hours, which is the end of side one from here. And I played that on the channel about 3.5 or 4 years ago, a long, long time ago. And that was my first introduction to Anecdotal. I then went for a long time without listening to them again. And I then became aware that they'd released a new album. I say new, it's not new anymore, but Until All the Ghosts Are Gone, which is this record. Now, if you don't know Anecdotal, they have massive King Crimson vibe going on, and it's properly good. I've played a lot of this on the channel, and I'll probably do some more just because I like it, not because I'm sort of discovering it again. But I do need to share it again with people because I don't think enough people listen to them. And then I also had this is a record store day release, Shooting Star, which is one of the singles from this. So I've got that as well. That's good. So Anecdotal is the band, Swedish prog, super duper. Right. This is an old record. I think this is an inherited one. This is from my uncle. So this is The Animals in mono on Columbia. It's an old record. But yeah, it's what date is this? 60 something, I imagine. 64. Gosh. If you like that, you like it. I like it because it's been passed down to me and part of my sort of musical DNA, I guess. Anvil. I saw the film of this a few years ago, and it's super good. Such a sad story about a band trying to make it, nearly did, still trying to make it 40 years later. No reason why they didn't. I mean, they were bloody good, really good. Along the same came into being about the same time as sort of Iron Maiden and Saxon and Def Leppard and all those sort of those big bands which made it. These guys didn't. I think they're Canadian, and I suspect maybe they just came from the wrong part of the world. I don't know, but at the time they didn't get there. So anyway, Hard and Heavy from Anvil. How are we doing on time? We are 25 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be... It's taking ages to get through this. All right, I better speed this up. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. One of the old classic ones, isn't it? Again, from my uncle. And we've got... These I've not listened to yet. Asia. So these are the supergroup made up from Lake and Palmer, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and King Crimson. So they're yet to come. I don't know those. Right, this is a record, Barclay James Harvest. It was cheap. I saw it. I knew the name. Haven't listened to this yet. I don't know anything about this band whatsoever. I just have heard the name, and I saw that this was going for... I think I got this in a charity shop or something, literally for like sort of £2 or something. So I probably do owe it to myself to listen to it. We then get to a couple of Beach Boys records. We have Good Vibrations, and we also have, of course, Pet Sounds. Both of them great fun and great. Pet Sounds, I know it divides people. Some people love it, some people don't. I have to say, I quite like it. I think it's really, really, really interesting. Now, I have a chunk now, which I'll take out, which is all this lot. So we've got Please Please Me, Rubber Soul. What's that one? Help. Beatles for Sale, twice. Let It Be. With the Beatles. We're still with the Beatles. Oh my goodness, we're still with the Beatles. And of course, Sgt. Pepper, twice. We've got, I think they're all UK pressings. We've got both the Sgt. Peppers are mono, actually. So they're sort of They're all old. They're all originals. They're all passed to me by various family members. I know them all. I love them all. Beatles is kind of just one of those bands that's, I know they're irrelevant now, but they hold such a special place in the hearts of so many people, completely understandably. And it's not a thing that I would set out to go and collect, but I'm really glad that I have got them, because they're just a part of my my mum, my uncle, and part of their lives. They're part of mine now. And of course I know all the songs. Who doesn't? Between the Buried and Me, Automata 2. I need to get Automata 1. I'm not quite sure why I've got this, and probably because this is the one with the songs on that I know. So we've got the Proverbial Bellow, and The Voice of Trespass, which are two songs which I've listened to on the channel. Maybe only one of them I listened to on the channel. But I like this a lot. It's good. It's metal and it's progressive and it's fab. Right. I've gone too far there. Sorry. Let's slip that one back. Yes. Solo works. Bruford. Feels good to me. Not heard it. Looking forward to it. So that'll be coming up. The Black Crows. Shake Your Money Maker. I don't know if you know the Black Crows, like the Black Crows. Boogie rock. You know, it's good. It's fun. It's fun. Right, and then have a section of 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just a 3. So we have Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, and Paranoid. There's kind of nothing really to be said about that, is there? It's Black Sabbath, the seminal records that everybody should own. Blondie. What's this? Denny. Contact in Red Square. Kung Fu Girls. Not quite sure where I got this from. It's a 12-inch single. Must have got it in Ipswich, because Out of Time Records, which is an Ipswich record shop. £3.50. I don't remember buying that. I don't remember. I don't know where it came from. I just know it's in my collection and has been forever. Blue Oyster Cult. Agents of Fortune. So this is the probably, I don't know if it's their most famous and successful album, but it's certainly the one with Don't Fear the Reaper on it, which is probably why I got it. I haven't got any other Blue Oyster Cult. But this is it's good. It's good. I haven't listened to this very much. I may have listened to it through once. I know, obviously, Don't Fear the Reaper, and I've listened to it 100 times or more than that. I know it like the back of my hand. But I don't actually know the rest of this record very well, so I probably should listen to it. I might do that on the channel. And then the final record for now in this little short video is another one from my uncle, The Blues of T-Bone Walker. Very bluesy. It's just, there's a very different, chilled, just a fun bluesy vibe, but it's lovely. It's lovely. And I think that's my first section, which you can see going from there to there. We've just started on B, so we've got a load of Bob Dylan to come, into C's, through to D, beginning of D. So we've got quite a lot here. So B, C, and D to get through there. We've also got more D on the next section before we move on to what goes on beyond that. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Is there anything in that section that you want to hear, that you're interested in? Anything you think that needs to be burnt? Anything that you say, what the hell have you got that for, Jim? And just leave your comments. Interested? Enjoy this? I'll probably do some more of these. As I say, I've got a lot more records to get through, but I think it's just quite fun to share the stuff, isn't it? So I'll see you all on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. And until then, this is Jim, over